Tonight on Tabletop Commander, Edgar Markov Vampires. Hi everyone, welcome to my newest and most fantastic of all video. This is an Edgar Markov vampire deck, and it's pretty much a straightforward swarm them up, lots of control. I try to keep this, this is made from a pre-con, so I try to keep this as close to the original with just making some budget conscious additions. I put maybe about $100 into this deck besides the original purchase. I didn't want to go too overboard with it, so I didn't I didn't go too crazy. So first, before we get into this deck, I want to apologize for not posting any decks over the summer. It was a very busy summer, and honestly, I didn't even get that much drafting or playing or anything of that sort done. I did build a bunch of decks, so I do have a bunch of decks ready to go for making videos. So there is that. So without further ado, let's get into Uncle Eddie's Vampires. Alright, there's the commander, Uncle Eddie, Edgar Markov. No explanation needed for him. He's pretty much the go-to Mardu vampire commander these days. It came in the Commander 2017 set and is pretty crazy. I do want to say that I did not include the Teferi's Protection in this deck. I had better uses for it. The Teferi's Protection that was in this deck is actually in my Rune deck. You should check out my Rune deck. It's pretty awesome, although that particular video has not been updated. So you will not be seeing Teferi's Protection. It's pretty much... It's useful in this deck, but not as useful as it would be in a different deck. So, Sensei's Divining Top, of course. I have a Scroll Rack for some draws. The obligatory Soul Ring. I did leave all three signets in here. Good mana ramp. Worn Power Stone I left in here as well. It's very important to get those vampires out as quickly as possible. I also included a budget-conscious Pillar of Origins. Nice uncommon from the new Ixalan set. Lightning Greaves, of course. Skull Clamp for some draws on those tokens. I do have a whole one enchantment in this deck, and here it is, Black Market. Kaya Ghost Assassin, mainly for drawing and defense and exiling a creature for a turn to get that swarm of vampires in there. Sorin, for draws and for flavor, a little bit of damage. It's mainly a flavor thing. I mean, 6 cost is kind of high for this deck. This deck is intended to be a fast swarm of vampires. I play a ton of removal in this deck, both sorcery and instant speed removal. So I play Vindicate. Of course, I play the New Blood card. Freaking awesome card. Extremely underrated Disrupt Decorum. This card is amazing. Just an absolute chaos card for everyone but you. So definitely an auto include. Probably an auto include in pretty much anything you play with red, if you can afford them. They're only a few dollars, so why not, right? Get some mass removal. Got Decree of Pain, and I got Rout for some good mass removal. I'd probably go with some cheaper mana cards. Wrath of God's not that expensive, and I pretty much had the Rout laying around and the Decree of Pain, so that's why I included them. Just because I'm just going budget. I didn't want to spend too much extra money. Read the Bones for some good draws. That's an excellent card. I love that card. It's in pretty much all of my black decks. Call to the Feast, another good budget option. Gets 3 tokens out there with lifelink. Good for the swarm. And good for the budget. Crackling Doom, great card. Removal. Mortify, removal. Terminate, removal. Dreadbore, more removal. Go for Throat, guess what that is? It's freaking removal. And of course, Swords to Plowshares, more removal. We got Return to Dust for some artifact and enchantment hate. Skeletal Scrying. I left this in here for drawing. Yes, there's probably some better draw cards in there, but again, good budget option, and it's really not that bad of a card. Hatred. This would be an auto-include in pretty much, again, every black deck. This card is an all-instant win. If you swing out with your commander, and they're like, oh, no blocks, you could slap this baby out there, be like 17 life, and they die from commander damage instantly with Edgar. And plus, Edgar has first strike, so even if you're not swinging lethal with that. One of the few, if the only, I didn't even check, non-vampire creatures, Brutal Horde Chief. His first ability is definitely great for the Swarm. And the second ability is really great for control, so he's definitely an include on in my opinion. Drana, Liberator of Malakir, great vampire. Vein Drinker came with the deck, good vampire. Blood Lord of Vazgoth, yeah, this guy. Sangromancer, Bloodline Necromancer. Maverin Fine, Dusk Apostle, a new vampire from the Ixalan set. Another good budget option, and make some tokens. Malakir Blood Witch came with the deck. Nirkana Revenant. This guy really isn't much of a budget option, but I had him laying around, so I put him in there. So if you want to put a more budget and more mana budget guy in here than a 6 cost, by all means go for it. Vona, Butcher of Magan, that place or person or something. Great new include from Ixalan. Indulgent Aristocrat. This thing, oh my god, this thing right here, this card is an all-star for sure. Definite auto include. It's just an uncommon, so if you drafted during Shadows over Innistrad, you definitely have this thing laying around. Yeheni, Undying Partisan, great vampire. Good for getting in there for some damage, because you can make him indestructible, and he's also a sack outlet if you need a sack outlet. Falcon Wrath Gorger makes everybody, all your vampires, have madness. There's not too many discard outlets in this deck, but you never know when they're going to come in handy. Gatekeeper Malakir, great auto include in this deck. Drana Calastria Blood Chief came with the deck, great card. Kalidas, this guy has come way down in price. He's only like $9 right now. He was like 20 something at one point when he was in standard. Great include in this, and it's a good time to buy. Stormkirk Captain, great, came with the deck card. Vampire Nocturnus. As long as the top card of your library is a is black, it's just black, all your guys basically get Unholy Strength. It's an amazing card. Bloodline Keeper, another amazing guy, makes some tokens and transforms into a nasty dude on the other side. So there you go. Tithe Drinker, great come with the deck card. Sanctum Seeker, oh this guy is awesome. Basically drains health every time one of your vampires attacks, and then plus you got that Brutal Horde Chief guy. He does the same thing. So lots of draining, lots of life gaining, and gets in there for quick damage. Rockish Air, again, great, came with the deck card, as well as Captivating Vampire. This guy's amazing. Love this card. This card's amazing. Came with the deck, too. Dark Imposter, a little mana intense on his abilities, but still a great card. Lycia Sanguine Tribune. There we go, Tribune. Came with the deck. With all the life gain that's in this deck, it's Easily just getting it out for one Mardu of colors. Olivia Voldaren. Hard to find right now, but it's very cheap card. It's only like $4. Definite auto include. Makes things vampires, and then it grabs vampires, so great control card. Vampire Nighthawk, this guy's just always good. Anawan the Rune Sage, great, came with the deck card. Fucking Wrath Aristocrat, decent vampire. Got 4/1 flying. It's got haste, and it's also a sack outlet. Not none of my top of list for auto includes, but still a good card. If you have something better, by all means. Necropolis Regent. This guy pretty much makes all your guys big real quick. So definite want to get one of those. Mathis Fiend Seeker came with a deck. Awesome card. Falcon Wrath Noble, again, came with the deck. Awesome card. Drains life whenever some of your stuff dies. And as you saw, there's a bunch of sack outlets already in the deck. So just go ahead and sack away. There you go. Bloodghast. This guy cost a little bit of money, but to me it was worth it. So I went and got this guy. Good graveyard shenanigans right there. And last but certainly not least, Miri the Cursed, a vampire kitty cat. Again, not too expensive, and to me it's a great auto include. So that was my deck for vampires. You can tell I did not go incredibly overboard on it. I didn't want to spend a fortune on it and then show you this $800 deck that half the people who watch this channel probably couldn't build anyway, because they have better things to spend their money on than pieces of cardboard. But there it is. So let me know what you think in the comments. Throw a like and a subscribe on there, and have a great day.